All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Today's video is being recorded with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. No external microphones, just hit record, and I'm giving it to you raw. I just want to go ahead and point that out. I love the cameras on this phone, and so I frequently use them from time to time. Now, this is about the Z Fold 5. Now, I bought the Z Fold 4, obviously, so I know how great that phone is. Phenomenal device. But there's something about the Fold 5. It's a little bit different. So they made minor changes to this device to make it a little bit better. And this is like a Z Fold 4S, or XL, or, just EX. Something to let you know that it's nothing, no like real major changes happening here, but enough to say that they've done something different. So 48-hour follow-up with the Z Fold 5 is as followed. The first thing I want to do is get into the battery. Now the battery on here is, it's good. The battery has been great. It's still learning my behaviors, but the battery on here is actually really good. I noticed this right away. I was like, wow. So my first charge, I went like 6.5 hours or something like that. I don't know what it was, but 5.5, what was it? Almost 6 hours. And it went like 19.5 hours total. It went all the way into here, as you can see here. You go here, it goes all the way to here, then it goes all the way across here. So the battery life and the usage, I don't really care too much about screen on time, but you guys want to hear it that way. My concern is that it was off the charger for almost 20 hours, and it did have a higher screen on time than my Pixel Fold. So this device is probably going to be, and it's the processor that's helping it, this device is probably going to have phenomenal battery life. My Z Fold 4 had great battery life. This Z Fold 5 is probably going to have really stellar battery life. Do I wish they would have given a bigger battery? Of course. Why wouldn't I want more battery? Squeeze as much as you can in there. I mean, why limit us on battery size? But it's good that it's actually optimized perfectly this time. Or I can't say perfect, but it's optimized well. It's optimized well. So the battery life on here is something that I was truly impressed with, and I foresee myself getting very long battery life out of this thing, and also recording with this a lot. I have a bracket that I can use this device in, and we can go ahead and switch and talk about cameras right now. But battery life, folks, if you're waiting on your Z Fold 5, are you still on the fence about buying one? If you're on the fence about buying one, go ahead and hit the link down below and grab yours at Best Buy or Samsung. And use my links, and those are my affiliate links, and it helps me get a little piece of change so I can keep buying stuff, if I'm being honest. So battery life, stellar. So if you're on the fence about battery life, now let me put this disclaimer out there. Battery life is not going to be the same for everybody, but overall, you can probably beat on this device for a little bit of time and get a lot of screen on time out of it, and then charge it within that day. You should be able to rack up. So this is the new S Pen. Now there's some concerns about the new S Pen, because it does not have air commands like Bluetooth remote type deal. It's not a Bluetooth pen like the previous generations, and that bothers some people. But to me, it doesn't freaking matter. I just used to reach up and press record anyway. If it doesn't have it, I'm not harping on that it doesn't have something. I'm just using it for what it is, and it doesn't have those functionalities, so what? But what it does have is my favorite options here. And that is most important to me. Still being able to write and sign and things like that. This is a phenomenal size for this pen as well. After using it for this time, for these last couple of days, it's been more than 2 days, I think, or something like that. We're going on 72, I think, something like that. I don't know. But the pen itself is actually really solid, and it works very well. No problems whatsoever. Really love it. It's a solid combination here. So that's not an issue. Software, Samsung software has always been on point. One UI 5 and One UI 6. It's loaded with just stuff you don't even need. but you have the option to freaking use it. You know what I mean? Like, you have the option to do all these things. And there's a lot of software in here that's overkill, but it is functional to someone. You know what I mean? So I guess someone told me a long time ago, Jay, it's better to just have it and not use it than to not have it at all. So I respect that. So software-wise, no crashes, no nothing. Don't have any of the latest. I'm not on the August security patch yet, but I'm sure I should be getting it by the end, because for me, the end of August, because security patches don't really matter to me too much. But you know, it is what it is. That means a lot to some people. Doesn't mean jack to me. So I mean, yes, I want security patches, but I still want, you know, to just the device to just work. You know what I mean? So yeah, software, battery, the phone is optimized perfectly. This is a kill-all, be-all. It's a great little update from the 4 as far as that goes. The 4 was solid too, but let's hope that this one is even more solid. Now, speaking of cameras, I will be recording with these cameras more. So when it comes to the video, I definitely like to record in 5x6. Now, this is something that a lot of people feel some type of way about, but I love 5x6. I love 5x6 because when you're watching my content on a fold device, it looks perfect. It fills the screen just like this. And some people don't like that, like I said, but nonetheless, that's cool. But one important thing in here that I think it should still be noted, there's still no ultra wide when you turn on 60 frames per second. This is just something that just should be, and then it forces me to record UHD at 430. I don't understand why that's not a thing yet, but I prefer to do widescreen 4K 60 when I can. All right. Another thing you notice in here is that 8K. Got 8K at 30 frames per second. That's a good thing, folks. If you're into that, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, another thing they changed in the camera settings was something that they changed on the phone I'm recording with, which is portrait mode and UHD. You now can do portrait mode in 4K. I will be giving you 4K portrait video for sure for a vlog. I've shot some videos with the Z Fold 4. It was for my car channel. You would never think it was done on this phone. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up. Now this video right here was done with the Z Fold 4. And I used the cover display, I turned on the cover display, and it was in portrait. It was a portrait video. Crystal clear freaking video. This phone right here, the 5, can actually do UHD now. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Let me pull this up here. I want to show you some more stuff here. And while we're talking about this, the speakers. Let me show you this. Let me crank the brightness ain't even all the way up, man. Oh my God, this phone has just got some of the most beautiful. Let me crank the volume up real quick. You can actually get them at and still grab as many features or things that you like about the car in your price range. Now, to recap, I've already put out a video how much I paid. I paid $67,890 before taxes. Came to about $72,000 out the door, and I paid that. Now, this is a 1LT with the front and rear, the front splitter and the rear spoiler. That's $599. This is so clear, and let me put the brightness back down, because Samsung's displays are just, we already know that they killing the game, folks. Samsung's displays are so beautiful. It's incredible. Like, this is a phenomenal way to watch a movie. I mean, to fill the screen. This is why I like to record in this aspect ratio, so I don't have to worry about it. But we're talking about how beautiful the display is. We're talking about how great the speakers are. And it's just a hit, man. It's just a freaking hit. Like, I knew this going into it. I knew the limitations, and I knew the pros. The pros on this device outweigh the cons. A lot of people are just going to continue to compare this to the Pixel Fold when they should just let it go. These are foldable devices. This one does a bunch of things better. This one does a bunch of things better. Mainly the cameras on here. The video quality on the cameras on this thing are sick. I will be putting up a vlog with these cameras. So get ready to be amazed even more so with portrait video in 4K now that it's on there. Portrait video 4K is the truth, folks. So I like being able to, I think you can hold right here and bring your, what's the name up, it says. Shouldn't be like that. You should be able to just, that's another thing about this phone, like the taskbar disappears. Speaking of software, it is optimized, but the taskbar disappears sometimes. I don't know why. Let me go back down here. Hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah. The taskbar disappear. Okay, it's back now. Yeah, but the taskbar disappears. Sometimes it's stays down here, and then sometimes, most of the time, it's gone. But nonetheless, that might be something that I'm doing wrong. But I do like that the taskbar. I will say the taskbar is extremely functional. Now let's get back off that software, because that's another thing. But it is good. But I can tell you that the display, the cameras, the screen, the speakers, everything on this is just right. Unfortunately, the price isn't right. The price is still something that I think is not in reach of a lot of people. A lot of people cannot afford this device. You can say it however you want to say it. A lot of people cannot afford this device, and they're definitely not willing to finance it. Just to have like $2,000 is a lot of money. You know what I mean? So a lot of people can't afford this device. If you can't swipe and pay it in full, you shouldn't finance it for something of this nature. If you have to finance these types of devices, that's just how I feel about it, and a lot of people probably feel the same way. Like if you try to be conscious of your spending, don't swipe and buy anything if you're going to swipe it, even on a credit card, if you can't pay the balance in full within that next 3 weeks. That is where the majority of the world is. A lot of people are living way outside of their means, and when it comes to tech, consumers are now stuck in these 48-month, 36-month. They're stuck there. They wouldn't spend all that money on these devices if they had to pay full costs. Be real about it. They would not want to give up $2,000 for this device if you had to pay for it like that. They wouldn't have it. And even with Samsung's great trade-in deals, a lot of consumers don't want to spend $1,000 on this phone. And I don't blame you. Pricing is never going to be where we want it to be, so let's get off of it. Is the price high? Of course. That's probably the only drawback that I can find so far. Well, one of the main ones. Another drawback is something that some people really want. Why they want this, I don't know. They want to be able to use the pen on this narrow display. And we were all hoping that Samsung would. We were hoping that they would do it. They would actually, put this size display on here. You guys wanted it. They didn't do it. You know what I mean? So maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll have what we want. You know what I mean? A shorter, wider display. Is what it is. But personally, I've said it before, I say it again, I like the 22:9 aspect ratio because I like 21:9 aspect ratio. I've always said in the past, I love this. Everybody said, oh, you look like you're using a remote, a TV remote. Like, that's cool. I like it though. It's more narrow, but it's a one-hander. You know what I'm saying? It's all about personal preference. So let's check the boxes here, man. This phone performs well. The design, it needs to be changed. Features, software, and all that is packed in here. It's good. Cameras are phenomenal. I'll be showing you camera footage. Performance is great. Software is great. Battery is great. Price is, you know what I'm saying? Front narrow display, we can deal with that for now. But 48 hours later, this thing is a killer, man. It's what we thought it was going to be. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. What do you think? Is this phone worth $2,000? Because anybody can buy a phone, or if you trade it in. If there's no trade-ins, a lot of people will be in trouble. People ain't got $2,000 to just kick out. It's not happening. It's not a diss. It's a reality check. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. Yeah, because you traded in something and got $1,000 off the phone, and then, you know, you got all these other little perks or whatever. But if we all had to pay full cost, these phones would not be hitting the streets like this. There will be a lot less of them. A lot less. All of them. Not just this phone. All of them. Anyway, stay locked. I'll be bringing you that right there soon. It's still brand new in the box. I don't even know open it yet. Picked it up today, and I'll give it to you later. I'm about to go in here, kick it with fam before it's time to turn it in. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Late night post for you, depending on when you're watching this. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.